These effortless 1 minute habits are evidence based and can change your life by not only making you smarter and more resilient than you already are, but also more productive and confidently in control every single day. Plus, we will also see how to make time for your habits, even if your schedule is jam packed with things that you have to and you need to do. Now, have you ever done tongue twisters like how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? They're fun, right? But they have also been shown to activate areas of our brain connected with planning and coordination. So, a very good way to spend a minute of your day would be to pick a tongue twister you like. There are tons you can find online and just roll them off for a minute. Think of it as a quick workout for your memory, your attention, and focus, strengthening the right neural connection. And an easy way to turn this into a 1 minute habit would be to hook it onto something that you do every day, like practice it whenever you are changing clothes or getting ready for the day. But if by any chance you don't like doing tongue twisters, then try out mini mental math problems. Like calculate in your head what would be 4679 plus 765, because they too have been shown to sharpen our critical executive functions like decision making, planning, memory, and focus. Now, I'm sure you have heard this a lot more times than you would really care to. Staying hydrated is important, but let me show you how it can actually keep us smart, sharp, and at our best throughout the day. See, the brain is about 73% water, and so dehydration shrinks the brain cells, which means impaired electrical signaling and neurotransmitter activity, which simply means lower attention, memory, clarity, focus, and energy. But this is one of those 1 minute habits that work best when we make them a part of our everyday routine, like taking a few sips of water before reaching for that cup of coffee, or maybe before sitting down for meals, right? But don't wait to feel thirsty first, because feeling thirsty means we are already mildly dehydrated. And though how much water we actually need depends on our age, our level of activity, the season, and where we live. It's usually in the ballpark of 6 to 8 glasses a day. Now, this next one surprisingly makes us better at shifting between different tasks and perspectives, so that we are better at problem solving and decision making. Although we think of it primarily as something that improves our attention and focus. See, mindfulness comes in many colors, but the easiest way to practice it is to choose a single object like your pen or the coffee mug or even your phone on do not disturb mode. Then take a minute to observe its color, its shape, every little detail about it, as well as how it feels in your hands, its texture. Is it heavy or light? Is it hot or cold? Focus on the item without thinking of what you like or don't or anything else about it, because even simple mindfulness exercises like these have been shown to help manage our stress and anxiety better, because they activate the parasympathetic nervous system that slows down our breathing and our heart rate, and also deactivates the fight, flight, or freeze response. Now, coming to resilience, one of the most basic things that helps us become more resilient is knowing how to manage our everyday little stresses, because that gives us a framework. It trains our brain on what to do when things seem to be going out of hand, right? And a 1 minute habit that really helps lay the right foundation for this is doing a physiological sigh every time we feel under pressure or stressed or anxious. Because in addition to getting carbon dioxide out of our body and our bloodstream more effectively, it also helps us think more logically, think straight and creatively to know what to do next. Because shifting the focus to breathing in and breathing out, doing a physiological sigh, it shifts our brain function from the limbic system to the prefrontal cortex, which is the creative problem solving part of our brain. So whenever you are feeling stressed or anxious, do a double inhale and a long exhale. So inhale, and then exhale the double, repeating 3 to 5 times. This next 1 minute habit not only helps us feel more confident, but also helps us manage stress better. It's based on the mind-body connection as well as facial feedback hypothesis. So smile and stand in a power pose like a superhero. I know it sounds funny and maybe even a little weird doing it sometimes, but even a fake smile can activate neural pathways associated with positive emotions, which actually helps us feel more grounded. And it can also trigger endorphin and dopamine release, the pleasure and reward neurochemicals. And even though the effect varies from person to person and the result gets a little better with practice, studies have shown that standing in the power pose can help feel more confident because it increases testosterone levels and decreases cortisol. Now, one of the simplest 1 minute habits to stop worrying and stay focused on moving in the right direction, because that's what being resilient is all about, right? So, one of the simplest habits is to first write down what's worrying you, but then following it up with one good thing that you can think of in your life. Because writing down the worry forces us to organize those spinning thoughts in our head into specific words, which not only helps us get more clarity about the situation, but also frees up our mental space to focus better on the solution. See, because of the negativity bias, we tend to focus more on things that are going wrong or that could go wrong, because this has helped us survive so long, right? But it also makes us discount the good things happening in our life. So when we follow the worry with something that's good in our life, it helps develop resilience because it brings things back into perspective. And if you're skeptical about how doing something for a minute a day could possibly add up to something or make any difference, it's about habit stacking, breaking the change that we want into manageable parts, each part adding up to a big result. It's really a more effective way to develop any habit because one, we don't have to worry about fitting it into our day, right? Taking a minute out to do something is easy. And second, when we anchor it to a prompt, like whenever I'm getting dressed, I will do a tongue twister, or whenever I'm feeling stressed, I will do 3 big physiological sighs. Working on manageable chunks of change takes away the 2 big hurdles, finding the time to fit it into our routine and doing it consistently. Now, here's an interesting fact. The main function of our brain is to assist movement. That's the main reason why we have a brain. Even the smallest organism that just wriggles, it needs a brain to do that. So even simple things like stretching can help keep the brain more active. And one of the simplest 1 minute habits to stay productive is to take movement breaks about every hour if you are sitting for long stretches of time. If you're feeling tired, maybe just do gentle stretching sitting where you are, or stand up and shake your arms and legs while taking calls, or maybe just walk around a bit. And another good idea is to take the stairs for the last couple of floors instead of taking the elevator all the way up. Just get creative and do whatever works best for you. See, on an average, we can stay effectively focused on any task for around 20 to 50 minutes at a time, depending on a few factors like on how interesting it is, or how stressful, what kind of distractions we have going on, how tired or not we are feeling at that time, and a few other things. So to make the best of the time, group similar tasks together to limit the mental strain of constantly shifting gears. First, this not only minimizes decision fatigue by reducing context switching, but it also creates a sense of flow, which means that we get more things done without feeling tired, become more efficient by using our selective sustained attention span more effectively. Plus, seeing progress within a group of tasks can be more rewarding than finishing them individually. And this sense of accomplishment keeps us motivated better for the next task. So take a minute to look for common themes in your schedule and group them together, like things that need you to brainstorm to do things a certain way. Or if you're moving about, then maybe group them by location. And to make these focus sessions work even better, before beginning on a set of tasks, take a minute to identify the things that can potentially distract you, because distractions are one of the main things that muddle up our priorities, making us procrastinate things unnecessarily. So find out whatever is irrelevant to that group of tasks. Like if you don't need to use your phone, then maybe put it on do not disturb mode to let only important calls come through, or keep everything that you need for those tasks handy so that you do not have to get up and possibly get distracted by something else. One of the best 1 minute habits to start the day right is to open the window curtains as soon as you wake up. Getting sunlight exposure in the morning, even if it's not very sunny outside, it helps regulate our circadian rhythm, the internal clock regulating our sleep-wake cycles, our hormone production, and body temperature fluctuations. Plus, the blue wavelengths found in sunlight stimulates the hypothalamus, which boosts our alertness and our mood. And if it's a dark wintry day, then switch on the lights as soon as you wake up, because exposure to even artificial light in the mornings can help regulate our circadian rhythm for a more productive day. Another thing that sets the day up for better stress management, emotional stability, focus, and clarity is phone-free mornings. It's a good idea to begin with short stretches and then gradually increasing the duration as you get more comfortable with the idea. And it only takes a minute to keep your phone in a basket or a drawer to create a phone-free zone for as long as you want, right? The instant gratification loop of checking notifications, that's not really good for sustained focused attention. And so phone-free mornings allows our brain to boot up in a calmer state. It provides a buffer zone, allowing our nervous system to settle and regulate itself, ready for deeper cognitive processing like creative problem solving. You can also use this buffer zone to whittle down your to-do list to a more realistic size, focusing on those things first that are of the highest priority for you, because working on tasks that are most important or most interesting for us means there is intrinsic motivation, and we don't have to worry about not feeling like showing up. The intrinsic motivation helps start the day off more productively by helping us resist distractions and focus better. Plus, checking the highest priority tasks first creates a sense of accomplishment and progress, which helps us stay motivated for other things too. And the Eisenhower matrix is a very good tool to effectively prioritize all that needs to be done. Setting priorities for the day is one of the most effective 1-minute habits to create a well-balanced and satisfying life, because we know that our business in one area of life isn't making us ignore other things that are equally important for us, things that make us really happy, right? This video over here can help you set priorities more effectively because it busts some of the most popular myths about what makes us really happy. I'm sure it will spark some really interesting ideas for you. I hope you found this video useful. Take care, and I'll meet you right over there.